Okay, today we will be learning about figurative language. Today you will deconstruct and analyze figurative language from literal language. Okay, so you will match the word with the correct image. If you're on level, you will match the words with the images, then turn and talk to your partner and discuss your answers. If you're on advanced level, you will match the words with the images and explain why. Then turn and talk to your partner and discuss your answers. Okay? All right, does anybody have any question? Any questions? All right, so please get started and pen to paper. You have 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So I really like how Montserrat is, already completing the first one. Very good. All right. David, you're doing a great job. I love how right now you are writing the entire word instead of just the number and the letter. Okay, remember, writing and spelling really helps out. You want to take advantage of these. Okay, 1A to B doesn't tell you anything, so make sure that you are writing down the entire thing. Okay, you have 30 seconds now. Please make sure you turn and talk and share ideas with your classmates. Okay, you have 10 seconds left. Very good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time's up. Okay. So at this point, okay, I would like you to share your answers, okay? So most likely, okay, for letter A, okay? We can have some of you share the answers, okay? I will usually just take out my equity sticks, okay? So just randomly call on the students, or I would also, roll a die, to choose a table, okay? But I'm pretty sure that most of my students get the answers right. And if this is what you got, A is personification, very good. Time and tide, wait for none, okay? So that, in this example, okay, time and tide, right? They are given a character, okay? Like they're given a personification. Now let's move on to the next one. B is the simile, okay? Here we're making, there are 2 comparisons, okay? Our soldiers are as brave as lions, okay? Now this is the simile because there are 2 things being compared. Soldiers and lions, okay? Now let's move on to the last one. For C, you chose 3, metaphor. You are correct. Yes. You're going to realize that this camera was blocking, but we'll just move it up here. Okay, perfect. Now, if you chose C for metaphor, you're doing really good. Okay. Now, I know these 2 could be confusing. B and C, a lot of people tend to mix them up. But here's a quick hint for you. Okay. When it's a simile, you would use a like or as, just over here, like over here you use as, okay? Or in number 3, right, in the metaphor, you don't use it, okay? Like in this case, it's the person is comparing itself to the black sheep, and we know it's not literal. We know that it means that it's being figurative, okay? All right, very good. So let's move on now to our mini lesson for today. So I need everybody to please pay attention, okay? This is the moment where, I will be going into detail about the next steps of our lesson. So let's move on. Okay. Okay, all right, so what are the types of figurative languages? So there's a lot of different ones, okay? But, we want to keep it simple and short. So today I'm going to go over 7 of them, okay? And these are 7 types of figurative language. So you can remember them by the word shampoo, right? Which I hope all of you use, correct? All right, so you can notice that the first letters spell out shampoo. This is an easy way to remember, okay? So in the first one we have simile, okay? Hyperbole, okay? Let's repeat that. Hyperbole. Very good. The next one we have alliteration, okay? Alliteration, okay? So that R is silent. All right, and then we have metaphor, okay? We just practice that on the do now. Metaphor. All right, and the next one we have personification, okay? Personification. It's a little bit long, but it's okay. And then we have this one, onomatopoeia, okay? Once again, onomatopoeia, okay? All right, and then let's move on to the last one, oxymoron, okay? And the last one is oxymoron, okay? All right, very good. So now we are going to move on to the next step. In the next step, we're going to break this down, okay? So let's move on. So the first one is a simile, okay? And a simile is comparing two unlike things using the words like or as. And the example, she runs fast like a cheetah, okay? Means she runs really fast. It's not really happening. Of course, the cheetah is going to be faster, but it is a comparison. And then on the example number 2, you have the children were as quiet as mice this morning. Okay, so this is again a simile because there's a comparison. All right. Okay, and again, remember that we know it's a simile because we have the word like or as. Okay, very good. Hyperbole. So that's the next letter on shampoo. Hyperbole. All right. Hyperbole is an exaggeration so dramatic no one could believe it. Overstate to emphasize the point. Some examples are, just like this picture here on the right, I am so hungry I could eat a horse. Okay? Nobody's really that hungry that they would eat a horse. And then the next example is, we waited in line forever. Okay, which, it means we waited in line for a long time. Okay, very good. Let's move on. Okay, then we have alliteration. And that is the repeating of the same letter or sound, especially consonant sounds, including tongue twisters, which you probably know some tongue twisters in your native language. If you do, this will be a great opportunity to share some of them with the class. Okay, so one common tongue twister in English is seashells by the seashore. Okay, and another one is lazy lizards lounge by the lake. Okay, so again, this is repetition of sound. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, and it's a metaphor. So by now we should be a little bit familiar with this, even if it was something you had never ever seen. So a metaphor is comparing two unlike things without using like or as, calling one thing another. So one example is, the snow is a blanket over the house. Right? It has a figurative meaning. And the second example is, my little girl is an angel. Okay, so here it's being a comparison because we're not using like and we're not using as, so that's how we know that this is a metaphor. Let's move on to the next one. So we have P and O-O, so personification. Okay, so here we have again this example from the do now. Okay, so at this point, right, we know exactly what this is. So this is when a human characteristic is given to something that is not human, such as an object or an animal. Writers personify objects to provide good descriptions. One example is, my pen was flying across the page. Right? When you're writing really, really fast, you're just so inspired, especially when you're in this class, right? And you have to do something and you just boom, 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 writing. Then my pen was flying across the page. Another example is, the leaves dance in the wind. Okay, right? This refers to the wind, blowing the leaves around. So awesome. Now we have two more. Okay, and then here we have onomatopoeia. So here we go. Onomatopoeia. It's a pretty long word. So let's move on with this one. The use of a word to describe or imitate a natural sound made by an object or action. So these are words that sound like what they mean. Okay, so for example, boom, wow, right? When you see something that you like, right? Oh, OMG, right? Oops, right? Splat. So pretty much all of these examples here, any sound that you can think of is an onomatopoeia. Okay. Now some examples are, the ones over here. Oh, disregard this. All right, let's move on to our last word. Okay. All right, awesome. So I like this one. I find it pretty funny. Okay, because through literature you can also be humoristic. So an oxymoron. Okay, so these are words or phrases which contradictory or opposite terms are used together. So here I have this picture, right? This is a meme. It says, your friend tells you, here comes your crush. Act natural. And then look what he's doing. Does not look so natural at all, right? So it's like, act natural. So it's very contradictory. And then the other example, right, is a jumbo trim. A trim can only be so big. Cannot really be jumbo, okay? All right, awesome. So now that we went over this, I want to congratulate the students that were taking notes, okay? Make sure that you spell it out as it's here, and also like the chart that we have in the classroom. Make sure that you always refer to that so that you know which one we're using, as we're really going to be using that as we get deeper and deeper into the book that we're going to be reading. Okay, let's move on. Now let's practice. Okay. Okay, so now it's going to be your turn to see how well you understand this. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. All right. John is a real pig. Which figurative language is this? Yes?
I say that this is a metaphor because it doesn't use the words like or as, but the pig is not talking or doing anything that, let's say, John would do, which is why I would say it's a metaphor.
Okay, so Natalia thinks it's a metaphor. Okay, and yes, she explained really well why it cannot be a personification or a simile. Very good. Thank you so much for your answer. Okay, now let's give a chance to somebody else. Let's move on with the next one. All right. Oh, could you please read it?
His brain is the size of a pea.
Okay. So what's that? Natalia, would you like to answer, please?
I think that his brain is the size of a pea is obviously another metaphor because I don't think anyone would make a brain talk, and there's no animal that can make itself do something human or, So I think it's another metaphor. It would have been a simile, but it doesn't have like or as.
Very good, and very good explanation as well. Okay, let's move on to with the next image. All right, can you read it, please?
As quick as a wink.
All right, and what is this? Which one is it?